Hello everyone, welcome to Lukmaan IAS. Today we are going to have the Hindu newspaper analysis dated 23rd of November 2023. In today's newspaper analysis, we are going to cover a mapping topic in the beginning. Then we are going to look into the important articles from the newspaper. And also, we have updated the PDF in the description of the YouTube video, right? You can go through the PDF to understand about these articles. You can go through these articles. We will also include questions there, so you can go through the questions as well. So let us quickly look at the list of articles that we are going to cover in today's newspaper analysis. So these articles we are going to cover today. So let us start the discussion. So this is the first topic for the day. It's a mapping topic. So today we are going to discuss about something which is known as Korean Peninsula. Okay, we are going to locate where is Korean Peninsula located. And the Korean Peninsula was in news today. Okay, so that's why we are covering this particular thing as part of mapping section. Why it is important? Because like UPSC asks every year around, let's say 2 to 4 questions or maybe up to 5 questions from the mapping area in the prelims exam. So it is very important for you to go through the mapping topics whenever a topic comes that has some relevance with the mapping. So you need to locate that particular location in a map, in an atlas. So you may use any of the atlas. There are, let's say, good atlases that are available. One of the atlas that is generally recommended to the students is Orient Black Swan Atlas. Orient Black Swan. And the second atlas that is recommended is Oxford Students Atlas. Okay, Oxford Student Atlas. So you can refer to any one of these atlas so that you can locate those locations that frequently come in the news. Right? If you locate these locations frequently, you will tend to remember them in the exam as well. You will be easily able to solve the mapping questions. Alright. So today we are discussing about the Korean Peninsula. So where is Korean Peninsula located? It is located to the eastern part, right? It is located to the eastern part, nearby Japan or nearby, let's say, like, to the eastern portion of China. So this is the Korean Peninsula. So Korean Peninsula extends from this particular location, right? This entire region is known as Korean Peninsula. What is peninsula? If we talk about peninsula as a geographical feature, what is peninsula? So when we discuss about peninsula, so peninsula is a land mass, right, which is surrounded by water from 3 sides, right? It is surrounded by land, right? It has bordering land only in one side, but it is covered by water from 3 sides. For example, if we look at this particular, let's say, shaded region, right? So on the western side of it, we have water, right? So here we have water. On the eastern side of it, we again have water or sea, I would say. On the southern side also we have water. So a land mass which is covered by water from 3 sides is known as a peninsula. Only one side there is land mass. Okay, so this is known as Korean Peninsula. The Korean Peninsula is politically divided between 2 countries. One of the countries is known as North Korea and the other country is known as South Korea. The North Korea and South Korea have different set of governments and their political way of, let's say, like, their way of ruling over the country is very different. If we talk about South Korea, it is a democratic country, right? South Korea is a democratic country. If we talk about North Korea, it is a country that is ruled by dictators. And North Korea keeps on conducting one or other military operations, right? It has recently tested nuclear weapons also, and it is said that recently North Korea has tested, right? It has sent one satellite which is known as reconnaissance satellite. This satellite has the capacity of spying over another country. So because of this particular region, the South Korea has come out of a kind of agreement which was earlier signed with North Korea. And after coming out of that particular agreement, now what South Korea is going to do, it is going to deploy its military personnel in the demilitarized zone. it is going to deploy its personnel to safe keep the border region. So what is this demilitarized zone? This demilitarized zone is a very, very important region, because this particular zone, in this zone there is no, let's say, army personnel from either the country, but like beyond this, right, to the south portion we have South Korean army located, to the north portion we have North Korean army located. So the thing is, this demilitarized zone is a border, I would say it is a border between North Korea and South Korea. Alright, so it is important. Now apart from understanding this particular thing, we also need to understand that to the east of the Korean peninsula we have East Sea. This East Sea is also known as Sea of Japan. Okay, it is known as Sea of Japan. To the west of South Korea we have Yellow Sea, right? This is Yellow Sea, right? So this is the thing. Apart from this, we are also going to see another similar map where there are some more important regions located already. Okay, so this is again a map, the same map of Korean peninsula, but it gives us some little more detail, right, about the political structure of these two countries. To the north side, this is known as North Korea. This is North Korea. Its official name is Democratic People's Republic of Korea. This is the official name of North Korea. If we talk about South Korea, its official name is Republic of Korea. Alright, so this is the difference. Now, North Korea, its capital is Pyongyang, and South Korea, its capital is Seoul. Alright, so to the west, on the lower side we have Yellow Sea, on the upper side we have Korean Bay. Alright, and we have already seen the East Sea, which is also known as Sea of Japan, right? It is known as Sea of Japan. And here we have Korean Strait. Over here if you see, this is Korean Strait. Strait means it is a narrow channel of water that connects two water bodies like that. Okay, so that's all about the Korean map or Korean peninsula. So having understood this, now let us look at the first topic of the day. This topic is very, very important. Name of the topic is Listen to the People, Not the Numbers. Alright, so this topic is important for GS paper 3 of the mains exam. This topic is important under Indian economy, right? It is important under Indian economy. So we are going to discuss about this topic in detail, right? We are going to understand what the author wants to talk about, right? Indian economy. So let's understand about this topic quickly. Here, listen to the people, not the numbers. Okay, this is the name of the article, topic 1. Listen to the people, not the numbers. Not the numbers. So basically, to understand this particular thing, we need to understand about Indian economy, right? When we discuss about Indian economy, so Indian economy is growing, right? Indian economy, what is happening? Indian economy is a growing economy. Okay, so Indian economy is in a growing phase. So there is no problem with the Indian economy in its growth. And government of India time and again, let's say, asserts that Indian economy is growing fastest among the largest economies in the world. But where is the problem? So the problem is that, like, income of people is not rising, right? Income is not rising, and it is not able to match with the expectation of people. So this is where the problem lies in Indian economy. Right? So here the author compares Indian economy with the US economy, right? So in Indian economy is among the largest economies in the world. I think it is the third largest economy in the world. It is growing, it is in a growing phase. Recently the International Monetary Fund has also revised the growth forecast of Indian economy. But the problem is that the income of people is not rising, right, in India. There are huge number of people in India. These people are unemployed. Most of the people in India are unemployed. Means like unemployment rate is very unemployment rate is very high in India? Because unemployment rate is very high, so some people are working, other people are not working. And among those people who are working, some people are getting exceptional pay, right? Exceptional pay. There are people who are high net worth individuals who are involved in, let's say, business activities, who are entrepreneurs. And at the same time, there are other families who are not able to afford, let's say, food for 2 times in a day. So there is a kind of disparity in Indian society. Now, if we compare the US economy, right? If we talk about US economy. In US economy also, what is the case? US economy is still growing. It is a growing economy. But they also have the problem of unemployment, right? They have problem of unemployment. There are many people in US who are unemployed, who are looking for employment opportunities. And recently the president of USA has, let's say, walked along with the, let's say, taxi drivers, right? And he has, let's say, walked in solidarity with the taxi drivers so that taxi drivers can get better pay, right? Can get better pay. So this is the thing. So Indian economy, the issue of Indian economy with other major economies in the world is not entirely different. It is similar. But the thing is, those people who are unemployed in India, are they finding job? Some of the people are finding job, but the thing is, the job that they are finding, these jobs are not good. Okay, these jobs are not good. In this article, the author has said that the jobs that people are generally finding, right, where they need less skill, so these jobs are generally not good. Why they are not good? Because of multiple factors. Number one factor is there is lesser pay, right? These people get very less pay. Second thing is they have no social security. They have no social security. And the third aspect, right? Third aspect is that these people do not have any savings, right? These people do not have any kind of savings as well. No savings, I would say. Since they do not have any savings, so in case of any health related problems, their out-of-pocket expenditure becomes very high, right? Out-of-pocket expenditure becomes very high, and since it is very high, these people are pushed towards poverty, right? These people are pushed towards poverty. So author finally says in this article that in India, what happens, many people are involved in caregiving activities. For example, if we talk about the status of women in India, right? Status of women in India. So women has historically been, let's say, involved in the caregiving activity. What? Caregiving activity. Caregiving activity means they were taking care of the family members. They were taking care of the children in the house. Men used to go out, they used to do work, they used to earn money. But women used to take care of the household. They used to take care of the members of the household, the elderly, the younger ones, the newly born child. So they were caregiving. Since they were caregiving, the thing is there is no economic value added to their caregiving, because their care is not accounted in terms of economic. Their care is not accounted in terms of economic activity, right? It is not generally accounted in economic activity. Since it is not accounted in economic activity, so the thing is their economic productivity is not considered the way it should be. So here the author says, since women were earlier involved in caregiving activity, they have, let's say, pulled out of the family structure. They have been pulled out, and now they are going into the companies, they are going to organizations, they are going to companies and organizations to work. Since they are going to companies and organizations to work, so they are, let's say, earning money. And since they are earning money, so now their economic activity is being counted. But this happens only with few women who are employable, who are educated. But what about those women like who are less educated, who are less skilled, let's say who cannot do good jobs outside? So even if they are employed, they're employed in, let's say, household activities. They become, they work as household helps or house helps. So in this article, the author has said that since these women have been pulled out of the family structure, they have been sent to do work in the, let's say, in the larger economy. So the thing is, like, their family, their activities in the family, their caregiving activities has reduced. Why? Because they started earning money now outside. So the thing is, finally the author says that the process of policy making must begin with listening to those who have not been given much value in the present economic paradigm. So author says that policy makers in India who are making policy for the economy, right, they should listen to the people. Why? Because these people were earlier involved in caregiving activity, right? They are still involved in caregiving activity, but their caregiving activity is not accounted in monetary term. Since it is not accounted in monetary terms, so it becomes very difficult, for them to justify the kind of work that they do. They do 24/7 work at household. So this is the thing. So state of Indian economy needs to make policies, formulate policies that should also account the caregiving activities in Indian economy. Okay. So this is what is being suggested by this particular author in this article. So apart from this, we are now going to look into another article. That article is also good. Here in this article, we are going to look into the issue of animal cruelty. So it says reporting animal cruelty makes children safer. This is a topic which is related to the society. It's part of social justice. So you can consider it to be part of GS paper 1 under Indian society and also GS paper 2 under social justice, So we are going to discuss about this particular article in detail. Now let us quickly understand what this article wants to say. So this is topic number 2 for the day. Name of the article is Reporting Animal Cruelty Makes Children Safer. Reporting animal cruelty makes children safer. Now, in this article, basically the authors have given examples. The author have given, let's say, multiple reports, have showcased data report, and in those reports, the author has talked about the link between animal cruelty and child, let's say, child abuse. So basically what happens, there are many households. So basically these reports that the author has talked about, these reports belong to households that are based in USA. So in many households, they keep pets also, right? They keep pets. And those households, if they have children, right? If they have children, so the thing is, it was noticed, it was reported by some of the agencies that whenever they have pets and if there is, let's say, animal cruelty, if there are cruelties associated with these pets in the household, okay, if there is animal cruelty. If there is animal cruelty in the household, what will happen? So in the same household, it has been noticed that in 83% of the cases, there is child abuse also, okay, in 83% of the cases, there is child abuse in these households. There is child abuse. Someone has written something. Sir, I am preparing for UPSC CSE 2028. Is it necessary to cover current affairs? Is it help me current affairs from now? All right. So we will discuss about it, right? So basically, if you start reading current affairs from now, at least like you will be aligned to understand what is happening in Indian society, what is happening in the world, right? So like, you will start developing some sense of it. It is always good to read something rather than not reading it, right? If you start following newspaper, you will start understanding the trends of the topics. So that will be beneficial for you. And since you are preparing for 2028, 5 years from now, It means you have made a 5-year plan the way that Government of India used to have a 5-year plan long back. So far we have 12 5-year plans, right? So 5-year plans have been good, and hopefully it will be good for you. I think you may be in school at this point of time, but the thing is like they will surely help you, right? If you start reading, you will understand like what are the topics that we are discussing. At least like you will be able to understand some portion of it, and also see the syllabus of UPSC. That will help you, right, to cover this particular thing. So here we are talking about households. Households means those families, right, where they have pets and they have children. So the thing is, in those families where they have pets, if there is an animal cruelty, in 83% of the cases it has been noticed that there is child abuse also in those families, okay? There are child abuse. Child abuse is in the form of multiple ways, right? Child abuse happens in many ways. What are those ways? One of the way is physical abuse, right? One of the way is physical abuse, means like, you know, so they might be means physically tortured, or there can be physical abuse that happens. There are sexual abuse also that happens, and there are verbal abuse. There are different forms of abuse that happens to children in households. So any household where there is animal cruelty, there is likelihood that there will be child abuse also. So it is very important for the society that, like, you know, whenever we witness any kind of animal cruelty, we should report it to the, let's say, like, you know, appropriate authority, right? So that animal can be safeguarded from them, and at the same time they can also look into the issue of child abuse in the household, because it has been empirically proved, and there have been multiple reports also. In this article they have named various reports, right? So here one of the person, his name is William Hogarth, okay? So one of the person, his name is William Hogarth. What he has said, right, he has talked about 4 stages, right? His name is William Hogarth. I'm just going to write his name so that you understand. So William Hogarth has talked about 4 stages of cruelty, right? He has talked about 4 stages of cruelty. Stages of cruelty. 4 stages of cruelty means, for example, if there is a household, they have a pet, to make the children, right, oblige, to make the children follow the direction, they initially what they do, they abuse the pet. If they abuse the pet, then the children gets to know a kind of sense that, like, if I do not follow whatever is being said to me, so they may also hurt. They hurt me, they can hurt me. So that way it is one of the stages of cruelty. Other stages of cruelty would be verbal abuse. Then there can be direct physical abuse to the children. There can be, let's say, sexual abuse to the children. So the thing is, in this article they say that it is very, very important that, like, you know, we should report the animal cruelty. If we report the animal cruelty, we are moving towards safeguarding the children. If we do not report the animal cruelty, it may also lead to, let's say, like, you know, cruelty against children. And there have been many cases that the children are part of some, like, you know, they are abused in one or other form, but like they do not talk to anyone. Why they do not talk? Because they feel that if they talk about it, so the thing is, the person who is acting as a cruel person, that person may do harm to their children in later stages. All right, so this is the thing. Here in this article they have talked about that. So a different study of 53 families in which child abuse had occurred, carried out in New Jersey in US in 1983, found that animal abuse and child abuse co-occurred in 88% of cases. So in US it was a different study, right? Another study was conducted in New Jersey in the United States of America. They said that animal abuse and child abuse has co-occurred, right? And child abuse has co-occurred in 88% of the cases, right? In 88% of the cases. So there is a concurrence. If there is an animal cruelty, there can be child cruelty also. So author says both human and animal victims of crime are prone to victimization by the same perpetrator. Okay, they are prone to victimization by the same perpetrator. So it is a kind of social justice topic, it is a social issues related topic. You need to read about it to understand about the society, right? So this will be an important topic. Very good write-up, right? I would say it is a very good write-up. Now we have another topic. It says same-sex couples are judged to the rescue, right? So in this article we are going to talk about the same-sex couples. So recently the Supreme Court of India has heard a case. Supreme Court of India has heard a case related to same-sex marriage, right? They have heard a case related to same-sex marriage, and the Supreme Court of India has given a judgment in this case, and the judgment was that they denied the right to marry. Okay, they denied. Supreme Court of India said there is no fundamental right to marry. There is no fundamental right to marry for same-sex couples. And in this article they have talked about those people who belong to, in this article, this is a different article, they have talked about those people who belong to LGBTQAI community, those people who belong to this particular community, right? So here recently what has happened, that Supreme Court of India has already denied the right to marry to same-sex couples, to LGBTQIA or QAI community, okay, QIA community. So it has already denied, and the name of the case is known as Supriyo versus Union of India. Name of the case is Supriyo versus Union of India, right? So in that case Supreme Court of India has denied, citing many reasons. One of the reason is Supreme Court says that it should be in the domain of the legislature to make a law in that regard, and Supreme Court of India says that it does not, the same-sex marriage does not find a place in the Special Marriages Act of 1955, right? It does not find a place over there. Now recently what has happened, the Madras High Court, right? We are talking about another High Court. It is Madras High Court. One of the judge of the Madras High Court, his name is Justice Anand Venkatesh, right? I'm going to write the name of this particular justice. Why? Because this justice has been given applause by this author, right? Justice Anand Venkatesh. So what he has done, so he has come across cases where same-sex couples were asking for right to marry. They were asking the right to, let's say, legally have a union. So in that case they have said, the justice in the Madras High Court has said that they can get a deed of familial association. Okay, they can get a deed of familial association made. So now let us understand what is the difference between like marriage and deed of familial association. Marriage is a kind of social institution. So in marriage what happens, both the person in a marriage, the spouse, right? So husband and wife, they get right? So they get right to cohabit, they get right to stay together. And the thing is, their children get the right to inherit the property, right? And these married couple also get the right to adopt a child, right? So they get inheritance, adoption, many rights are associated with marriage. So marriage is a recognized and a legal institution, right? It's a recognized and legal institution. But the thing is, since the LGBTQIA community has been denied the right to marry, so these people do not have those rights that are available to the married couples in India. So this Madras High Court judge, Justice Anand Venkatesh, he has said that, like, these couples can get deed of familial association made. The deed of familial association is not equivalent to marriage, right? Is not equivalent to institution of marriage, but it is a kind of agreement that they are going to stay together. It's a kind of familial association. It's an agreement. So this agreement is a step towards that direction of recognizing their right to marriage. So in this article, these people who have written the article, so one of them is an advocate. So that person has said that, like, in legal studies, while they were studying, so they understand that first is, like, there should be an agreement a kind of association that should be legally recognized, and later on it can be converted into a statute, it can be converted into an act. So this is a step in the right direction that the authors are saying in this article, okay. So authors say that on the heels of the dismal Supreme Court decision, Justice Anand Venkatesh offers hope for LGBTQIA plus couples, okay. Means he says that the judgment that the Supreme Court of India has given, they did not recognize the right to equality of these people, LGBTQIA community. Even the Supreme Court of India has said right to marry is not a fundamental right, okay. This is the thing. So this is a good article. So this, let's say, like, talks about many legal studies. In this article they have mentioned about, let's say, many legal studies that they have studied that talk about similar doctrines, that says like initially there should be some kind of informal agreement, then there can be formal agreement, then there can be legal agreement, and later on it can be converted into an statute. So it's a let's say stepwise process that happens in a society over a period of time. Now we have another article. It says unheeded advice, right? The time has come for the governor's role to be reconsidered. So unheeded advice. So in this article basically they are talking about the role of the governors in a state. Role of the governors, right? Role of the governors in a state. So basically this particular article relates to the governor of Tamil Nadu, okay, governor of Tamil Nadu. So what has happened, the Tamil Nadu's governor, many bills was passed from the state legislative assembly, right? Many bills were passed from the state legislative assembly, right? These bills were sent to the governor for assent, right? But the thing is the governor has not given his assent. So he has sent back those bills. So from the Tamil Nadu State Legislative Assembly, they have passed 10 such bills, but none of the bill has got governor's assent. So the thing is the Tamil Nadu government, the chief minister of Tamil Nadu and Tamil Nadu government, they got infuriated, means like they were not happy by the way how the governor was conducting. So they have approached the Supreme Court of India to seek a direction for the governor so that the governor starts acting. So the Supreme Court of India has talked that in Article 200 of the Constitution, it is mentioned what is the role of the governor, what the governor can do. So whenever a bill comes to the governor, right, the governor has 4 choices. Governor has how many choices? 4 choices. Number 1 choice is to give assent to the bill. Giving assent to the bill means agreeing to this bill, means like giving a go ahead, that like this bill is good, I have agreed, and now this bill becomes an act. Second is that the governor can withhold his assent. So when he withholds his assent, it means he did not agree with the bill. He has, let's say, like he did not give his assent to the bill, means like he has rejected the bill. It amounts to rejection of the bill, right? It amounts to rejection of the bill. The third option that is available with the governor, the third option says that the governor can send the bill back to the house, okay, send the bill back to the house for reconsideration, means like with some comments that you need to work on these factors before you send it to me again, so that like then I will give my assent. Send the bills back to the house means there can be some provisions in the bill that are not in sync with the Constitution of India, So in that case, these bills may be like may be reworked by the state legislative assembly, then it will come back to the governor and the governor may give assent. But the governor cannot send back those bills that are money bills generally, okay, money bills cannot be sent back. He has to give his assent to the money bills. Then the fourth option that is available with him is he can reserve the bill, right? He can reserve the bill for the consideration of the president, okay, I am just writing for the consideration of the president of India. All right. So these 4 options are available with the governor. However, Supreme Court of India has also said that the governor, although he is appointed by the central government, but he is appointed under the President of India, so he should only look into the constitutional matters that are associated with the bill. If a bill is ultra vires of the constitution, if it is against the constitution, only then he can reject the bill. Otherwise, he should pass most of the bills, right? Most of the bills should be passed. Here, like, the governor should not have much discretion. So the governor should act in aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. He should act in aid and advice of Council of Ministers of the State Legislative Assembly, right? And the Council of Ministers is headed by the Chief Minister of the state, by the CM of the state. So here in this article, the authors have discussed about that the Supreme Court has taken a right, let's say right step in saying the governor of the Tamil Nadu to act in a speedy manner. And in the Constitution of India, no timeline is given. Means like, in the Article 200, they did not mention any timeline that within this particular time, the governor should act. However, there have been multiple commissions that have recommended. One of the commission is known as Sarkaria Commission, other is known as Panchi Commission. So one of the commission has said that the governor should take a decision on these bills within a period of 6 months itself. Okay, they have to take decision within a period of 6 months itself. But like, those recommendations have not been implemented yet. So they are just recommendations of the commissions that have been set up by the central government. Okay, so this is the thing. It says unheeded advice. The time has come for the governor's role to be reconsidered. So in this article, the author is saying that since in most of the states this issue persists, the governors are not acting in aid and advice of the Council of Ministers, and time and again the issue goes to the court. So it is important that there should be a one-time solution to this particular problem, and that one-time solution would be to look into the provisions in the Constitution of India to amend it so that a time frame can be given to the governor, and some guidelines must be mentioned that in these cases only like you can withhold the bill, otherwise you need to pass the bill, like that. Okay, so this is the thing. This article is good. Alright, so with this we will quickly go to another article, very small article, page number 6 in the Hindu newspaper. It says glimmer of hope. So here again they are talking about the Israel-Palestine issue. Okay, so over here I have just drawn a map of Gaza Strip. This is Gaza Strip. This is the West Bank area. This is West Bank. And other regions over here, the other entire region is of Israel. And over here we have Mediterranean Sea. Okay, we have Mediterranean Sea. So as we all know that Hamas, right, in Gaza Strip there was an organization, its name is Hamas, and Hamas has conducted an attack on Israel on 7th of October. In that attack they have killed more than 1300 civilians in Israel. So civilians, army personals have been killed. After then Israel has retaliated, they have, let's say, attacked in Gaza Strip, they have killed more than 13,000 civilians. Most of them, right, most of them are children and women, right, most of them are children and women. And they have not, the Israeli people have not spared even the hospitals. They have also bombed the hospitals, they have bombed, let's say, refugee camps. They have bombed all those civilian infrastructures wherever they felt that there can be a presence of Hamas people, right? Why they were doing it? Because Hamas had taken into custody, not into custody means like, they have abducted around 250 people, or more than 200 people have been abducted or kidnapped by the Hamas group. And these people are Israeli people. So Israeli people want them back, and recently it was in news that Hamas and the government of Israel, they have talked with one another. They have agreed that there will be a pause in the warfare for about 4 days in exchange of prisoners. So the thing is, Hamas is going to release about 50 hostages. Okay, they are going to release about 50 hostages, and Israel is going to release many prisoners like who are Palestinian people, right? So this particular thing is being seen as a positive note in the development, because Israel has been indiscriminately bombing. Many countries have raised voice that they should go for a ceasefire. There should be political solution to it, not military solution. Political solution involves dialogue, it involves discussion, it involves diplomacy, it involves negotiating on the table to, let's say, resolve the issue. But the thing is military solution, right? So as of now, everything that is happening in this region is military, right? Backed by military. So that's why these two regions, I mean Israel and Hamas, they have agreed with one another. Israel has said we are going to pause it for 4 days, and in exchange Hamas is going to release 50 hostages. Israel is going to release the prisoners, the Palestinian prisoners, right, that they had captured. So this is being seen in a good note, okay? So this is the thing. And over here, if we talk about this Israel is surrounded by many countries over here. So like on a quicker note, we are going to write down the name of these countries. Over here we have Egypt, right? Here we have Lebanon. Here we have Lebanon. Over here we have Syria. Here we have Jordan, and here we have Mediterranean Sea, as we discussed. Okay, so this is the thing. This is the geography of Israel. Okay, so it is related to Israel and Hamas war. So with this, let us quickly move to another topic. This topic is again really important. So this topic says Haryana's employment reservation law. We are going to discuss about this topic in detail little bit. Okay. So name of the topic is Haryana's employment reservation law. Haryana's employment reservation law. So let's discuss about why it is important, right? So basically here we are talking about the state government of Haryana. So the state government of Haryana has passed a reservation law, right? They have passed a reservation law, and they have passed this particular law in the year of 2020. They have passed a law. So I'm going to write the name of the law also. It is known as Haryana State Employment of Local Candidates Bill. Okay, they have passed this bill. So I'm going to write down name of this bill because it is important. You can also note down so that you can remember this. Haryana State Employment of Local Candidates. Haryana State Employment of Local Candidates. So I'm just writing it Act. Okay, Act of 2020. So they have passed this particular bill in 2020 itself. Right. So the bill was introduced in 2020, they have passed in 2021, right? So they got the assent of the governor also. So according to this particular act that they had passed, right, it has become an act because it received assent of the governor in 2021. So those organizations that are private companies, right, private companies. So private companies have to employ what? They have to employ 75% local candidates, right? They have to employ 75% local candidates among all people that they employ if the salary is less than 30,000 rupees. If the salary is less than 30,000 rupees per month. Okay. Means those people who are employed, if their salary is less than 30,000, so 75% of those people who are employed by private companies, so they should be from Haryana itself. So this law they have made. Why the Haryana government made this law? Because they wanted to employ their own people, like who are unemployed, right? So there were many people in Haryana who are unemployed, so they have, let's say, passed this particular law. However, this particular law has some challenges associated with it. Okay, there were some challenges. What were the challenges? The thing is, many people Number one, the private companies were not happy with this particular thing. Why they were not happy, private organizations? Because their options were curtailed, their options were reduced. So they have reached the High Court, right? This is Punjab and Haryana High Court. Okay, they have reached Punjab and Haryana High Court, which is located in Chandigarh. They have reached there, and Punjab and Haryana High Court has recently struck down this particular law. What it has done? It has struck down this particular law. It says that this particular law is against the provisions of the Constitution of India. It violates some of the fundamental rights. What it does? It violates fundamental rights. What fundamental rights are violated by these law? One of the article is Article 14. Another article is Article 15. And another article is Article 19. So these three articles are violated by this particular law. How? Article 14 says right to equality, right? Right to equality before the law and equal protection of the law. So this particular right, which gives preference to the local candidates and discriminates against other candidates, so this does not treat other citizens of India at equal part. It does not treat other citizens equally. So it violates Article 14. Article 15 of the Constitution of India says that there should not be any discrimination on the basis of caste, sex, religion, place of birth, right, in matters of employment, right, in a state. So the thing is, this particular law, which is Haryana State Employment of Local Candidates Act, this actually violates this particular article because it discriminates on the basis of place of origin, on the basis of place of birth, means like those people who are not local.
So one issue is there, sir. The Haryana government in this bill has mentioned that the reservation is for domicile, not
domicile, yeah. So they have.
Place of birth is not equal to domicile.
That's true. But the thing is, those people who have recently moved to Haryana, means domicile category is those people who are in Haryana for a period of at least 5 years. Means people who have migrated to Haryana, who are in Haryana for at least a period of 5 years. And the thing is, these should be legally backed. Backed in the sense, people who moved to Haryana, they got their documents done over there. They got their documents updated, maybe voter ID, Aadhaar card, other thing. If they have got it updated in Haryana 5 years back, only they will be eligible for employment under local categories, right? Local employment. Other people who are migrating from other states, let's say people migrating from Bihar, people migrating from UP, those people who have migrated this year or last year or last to last year, they will be discriminated against. Since they will be discriminated against, so local candidates, although they select the local candidates on the basis of what? Domicile. But those people who are born in Haryana, they are automatically domiciled in Haryana. Means, right, this is the thing. And they have created a portal also, Haryana government. In that portal, these local people have to get themselves registered. And all the private company who want to employ people, they have to employ people from this particular portal itself. So private companies are also limited by their choice. They have to comply with the government rules and regulation, and they have to update the government every 3 months. So it puts undue pressure on the private companies as well. Okay, it puts undue pressure. So that's why the Punjab and Haryana High Court has said that it amounts to creating Inspector Raj in the state, right, over private companies. This is Inspector Raj. Second thing is, it violates some articles of the Constitution. For example, it violates Article 15, although they have mentioned domicile. But the thing is, those people who are domiciled, all the people who are born in Haryana, they are part of domicile. But all those people who come from outside who are less than 5 years, they are not domiciled. So that's also a problem. Apart from this, Article 19 of the Constitution of India, Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause G. This particular article says that a person has freedom of movement, right? He can move from one place to another, he can reside, he can do any business, right? But this particular bill somehow creates a virtual wall And if this virtual wall is created by other states, it's going to hamper the fraternity in the country. It's going to hamper the other provisions also. So that's why the Punjab and Haryana High Court has struck down this particular act. Earlier also this particular act, I mean, people have challenged in the Supreme Court of India, but at the same time Punjab and Haryana High Court was hearing this. So Supreme Court of India has directed the Punjab and Haryana High Court to take a decision in this matter. They did not say that in this way you take the decision, but you take the decision first. So that's the thing. So Punjab and Haryana High Court has struck down this particular thing. So in this article they have mentioned this thing. They have also mentioned about some other states that have made similar legislation. For example, we have the state of Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. They have enacted laws providing reservation for their local residents and private sector also. Okay, so these other 4 states are there. Okay, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. Right? They have legislated on similar manner. So this is the thing, and here they have given a picture of a, let's say, like, laborer who is working in Gurugram. See like how much dangerous situation they work in, right? So now we have another topic. It says Supreme Court begins hearing on pleas against parties offering freebies during elections. Okay, so many political parties, they promise freebies to let's say voters. So this freebies is being, okay, the freebies is being looked into by the Supreme Court of India. So the Supreme Court of India will hear some of the people say that freebies are legitimate thing. Means like, election, like people, candidates who are campaigning, they can make promises to the people. So promises are not this, but like one of the advocate, Prashant Bhushan, has said that illegitimate and discriminatory freebies were not the same as legitimate freebies given to the public for a welfare cause. Okay, he has given 2 examples also. One example of illegitimate freebies, which is illegal freebies. Other is discriminatory freebies. Illegal freebies means doing away with the debts of willful defaulters is an illegitimate freebie. Means if there is a person who is a willful defaulter, if government, right, state government, any state government or central government, they, let's say, like, make them clean, means like you don't have to repay this particular amount. So this is an illegal thing in case of willful defaulter. And other thing is giving benefits to a particular religious community would classify as a discriminatory freebie. Okay, so he has mentioned this thing. The Supreme Court of India just started hearing this particular matter. We still need to wait and watch how this turns out, right? But the thing is, like, this is a good thing that the Supreme Court of India is looking into. Maybe in future there can be some guidelines to political parties and candidates related to what should be treated as a legitimate freebie, what can be treated as a illegitimate or discriminatory freebie, like that. So there is another topic. It is South Korea suspends deal after North Korea puts military satellite into orbit. So today we discussed about the Korean Peninsula, right? We discussed about what? Korean Peninsula. So Korean Peninsula is somewhere like this. So here we have demilitarized zone. Over here we have North Korea and we have South Korea, right? We have South Korea. This is demilitarized zone. We discussed that North Korea has put a satellite into the orbit, and that satellite is considered to be a reconnaissance satellite. Reconnaissance satellite means a satellite that can be used for spying purposes. Means like gives very high resolution, let's say, like images of the, let's say, other country, like that. So that's why South Korea and North Korea had earlier signed some treaty that we are not going to spy on one another. So South Korea has come out of that particular resolution, okay, that particular treaty, okay. And now South Korea will deploy its army personnel, will deploy its people in the demilitarized zone to check any, let's say, unwarranted activity in the demilitarized zone. Demilitarized zone is a border region between North and South Korea. So it says South Korea decided to partially suspend an inter-Korean agreement and restart frontline aerial surveillance of North Korea hours after the North Korea claimed to have put its first military spy satellite into orbit in violation of the UN resolutions. Officials are trying to confirm if the satellite can perform reconnaissance functions. Reconnaissance means spying functions, right? So this is a short article just for our understanding. Then we have another very short article. This says China and Uruguay upgrade relations as leaders meet in Beijing, right? So Uruguay is a country in South America. This is also known as Latin America. So the leader from Latin America, he has visited the Beijing, China, and he has met with the president of China, Mr. Xi Jinping, and then they have, let's say, thought of upgrading their relationship. And now China is going to invest more in Uruguay. Already in Uruguay, China, or in South America, China has invested hugely, right? So it has built good relation with South American countries. So now let us discuss about these countries that are there in South America. So this is the location of Uruguay. The capital of Uruguay is Montevideo, right? So capital of Uruguay is Montevideo. Why Montevideo name is important? Because in international relations, in international law, there is a convention, its name is Montevideo Convention. That Montevideo Convention talks about what constitutes a state. What is a state? Okay, it says that a state should have 4 important parameters. One important parameter means it should have a defined geographical territory. Second, it should have a sizable population. Third, it should have a government, right? Government can be of any type. Fourth, it should be sovereign. It should be able to come in foreign relation with any other country without any external pressure. So if these 4 conditions are met, so that can be called as a state. Okay, that is known as Montevideo Convention. So Montevideo is the capital of Uruguay. And how many countries do we have in South America? So like there are 12 countries that are independent. There is one territory that is, let's say, part of another country. Okay, so we are going to locate about these countries also. One of the countries is Venezuela. Okay, since the map is already blue, so I'm going to use another color. Venezuela is a country. Then we have Guyana, another country. Then we have, let's say, Suriname, third country. Brazil, fourth country. Then we have Uruguay, fifth country. Paraguay, sixth country. Then we have Argentina, seventh country, right? Chile, eighth country. Peru, ninth country. Bolivia, 10th country. Ecuador, 11th country, and Colombia, 12th country, right? Then we have a territory which is known as French Guiana. It's part of French or France, right? So France administers this particular territory. So this is South America, right? One of the South American leader, the leader of Uruguay, has went to where? China, right? To deepen the ties with China. So this is the thing. So this talks about, like, India is interested in this thing. Means, like, you know, China is a neighboring country of India. So any development that happens in the neighboring country becomes important for India also, so that India stays aware what is happening, right? Then we have another topic. It says Das flags model-based lending warns banks, NBFCs to undue risk built up. Das means Shaktikanta Das. This is the image of Shaktikanta Das. He is the governor of RBI, governor of Reserve Bank of India. So Reserve Bank of India governor was interacting with some bank professional somewhere. So he has talked to the banks and non-banking financial companies about algorithm-based lending. Means many, let's say, banks, they are over relying on algorithm and model-based credit appraisal. Means, like, you know, many banks are focusing on algorithm and giving appraisal to the loans, that people can apply for loans, they can fill their documents, and algorithm is going to sort out whether this person is eligible for taking a loan or not, whether he to check his credit worthiness. This is known as credit worthiness. So Shaktikanta Das has said that banks and non-banking financial companies should not over rely on algorithm and model based credit appraisal, because this may pose huge risks to the financial sector. Already financial sector in India is under some kind of risk because of external things that are not in control of India, because of war happening, right? Russia-Ukraine war or Hamas-Israel war that is happening, right? Israel-Palestine war, and many other factors are there. So this is causing I would say geoeconomic instability, right? In many geopolitical instability, geoeconomic instability. So RBI governor has cautioned these banks not to be over reliant on algorithm based lending appraisal mechanism. Okay, this is all in this article, not much is said, right? So that's all. So that's all from my side for the day. Thank you so much everyone for attending today's session. I hope you have a good day ahead. Thank you.